Welcome to Jack's Rants, our series of smaller bonus episodes where I discuss recent IT and security news that has popped up locally and worldwide, which might not be enough material for a good episode, but nevertheless deserves a bit of insight. I am Jack Smith. Everybody has their guilty pleasures, and mine is watching some Scambaiter, the Kitbogas, Jim Brownings, and Pierogi of the YouTube world. And I want to get it straight out of the gate that this is not criticism, because these guys educate millions, they waste scammers' time, they without doubt save countless victims, and we actually need more people like them. And as someone who worked in IT and cybersecurity for a few decades, I genuinely appreciate what they do. However, every time I watch one of their videos, there are a bit more questions than answers. I've already mentioned some names, so let's go about their styles. Kitboga is the social engineering type, wasting scammers' time, very comedic, lots of comedy, education, and usually doesn't hack back. He just wastes their times and makes really fun videos to look at. Jim Browning, with his IT background, is more investigative. He openly explained his attack vectors such as unsecured camera systems, poor operational security, or general exposed infrastructure like the telephone system. And Jim Browning doesn't really explain the technical background very deep, and that is absolutely no requirement at all, but at least you get an understanding of how it works. And then there are the types of pierogi, extremely fun to look at. They do a great job. There is, however, some things missing because they connect to a scammer's PC or the scammer connects to them and then they reverse the connection, start browsing files, have webcam access, have screen monitoring, software is installed, and they keep remote access even after the scammer has broken the connection. And at this point in time, my IT brain goes, hey, wait, what happened? Because we skipped somewhere. Scammers, they use commercial software, the AnyDesk, TeamViewer, Supremo, or UltraViewer, and quite a lot of others. And these are not shady hacker tools that these scammers have developed themselves. These are commercial products used by thousands of MSP and businesses every day. So your hospitals, your factories, government, bank, remote workers, they're all being used. So how does this magic reversal somehow appear? Well, a few theories. Explanation number one, it's a vulnerability in remote software. If that's the case, has the vendor been informed? Has it been patched? And should the corporate users of these software packages be concerned? It could always be a Windows vulnerability. It could be a privilege escalation, remote code execution, or another local exploit. Same question again, is this a known patch? Has this been made public? Has it been fixed, yes or no? Operational security, option number 3. These systems are not the best configured in the world that these scammers are using. So is there an RDP open? Are there weak credentials, a service misconfigured, already existing malware? Who knows? And then actually my favorite, social engineering. Just get the scammer to click on the yes button to install something and it just goes. Well, you have to get the button on the screen, but that is a different discussion altogether. But in the end, the interesting technical part for me always gets edited out. It's not because it's want to be deceived. After all, it is YouTube, and nobody wants to watch 40 minutes of trial and error, so that is a bit what I'm going to. However, we could be asking the wrong questions. What about if the PC is already compromised? Because the remote support software might not be the weak point at all, because look at the average scammer's workstation in a far away country or even locally. We have discussed this in a few guest podcasts already. Your chances are pretty high that the Windows is pirated, Office is pirated, there is unofficial cracked software, they log in with local admin credentials, there are no updates scheduled, there's no antivirus, not even the built-in Defender active, zero endpoint detection, and who knows, other malware could already be present. So it might well be that this machine is compromised before the Scambaiter even connects, and that changes the entire dialogue, because we are going from remote software is insecure to a compromised Windows machine is very easy to compromise further, and those are two different things. However, the most fascinating thing is that a outside remote control tool is then installed. Even after the scammer disconnects, the Scambaiter, they keep monitoring the device, they keep their access, they can reconnect later, they can download files, they can watch webcams, they can record audio, and then my brain tickles and goes, well, Windows usually does not let you install any additional software without a lot of pop-ups because there are services, scheduled tasks, startup entries, registry changes, firewall rules. Why isn't there any pop-up? You always have the install shield coming up, say you want to do this, yes, no. Do they get the scammer to click yes? Are they too inexperienced, too busy, too careless? It all happened, but I would like to know. And then you remind yourself, well, of course, this is YouTube. Everything is edited, and of course they should be, because nobody is interested in watching 45 minutes of failed attempts, reconnects, troubleshooting, command lines, dead ends, and just waiting. The audience wants to watch a short, good video with a clear beginning, middle, and an end. So it is not illogical that the technical journey quite often disappears, and you end up going from the scammer has connected to our local machine, we have reversed the connection, and now we are on the scammer's computer. And yep, the in-between might not give the best entertainment possible. Let's not forget the confirmation bias, because we only see the spectacular ones, we only see the ones that actually work, where the scammer is in a panic and starts shouting, files are disappearing, and justice is served. But for those 11th attempt from the Scambaiters to work, very likely 10 before have went completely nowhere. And therefore our brain needs to retrain itself from this always works to no, we're simply watching the highlights. There's nothing dishonest about that. It's just how editing for YouTube and TV works. But put yourself in the mindset of those remote support software vendors. Because imagine you're AnyDesk or TeamViewer or Supremo. Every week millions of people watch videos where your product is being used, and then suddenly 3 seconds later someone has complete control of the computer running the software. So I'm really asking the questions. I'm fascinated to know, are these vendors contacted? Do they know what happened? Was it the software? Was it Windows? Was it another vulnerability? Or did the scammer just click through every warning dialog and ignore it with, yes, yes, finish, continue, reboot? And if I worked for one of these companies, I would like to know. It's not because of YouTube and nice videos, but it's because businesses actually trust your software every day globally. And of course, I'm not asking for any hidden or non-public exploits. I don't need the code. Please don't, keep it secure. And yes, it is security through obscurity, but at least give the vendor some time to patch something if something needs to be patched. My question is a lot simpler. What category of attack are we looking at? Because every category teaches a different lesson. And in the end, this is not about the scammers. This is about everybody else. This is about everybody that is using these remote control software for valid support reasons. So your MSPs, hospitals, banks, manufacturing, government, and home offices. And if there is a lesson, I like to know what it is, because every IT incident should end with a lessons learned. That is how you improve. And every time I watch one of these Scambaiter videos, I absolutely cheer. The scammers deserve to lose. And then after cheering is done, the security professional in me wakes up, and not because I doubt the Scambaiters and the creators. It's not because I think they're faking anything. They're not faking at all. I'm very convinced of that. It's quite the opposite, because I spent my career helping organizations secure Windows system, endpoints, and remote access software. But if someone repeatedly gains persistent access to another Windows machine, I don't see just entertainment. I see unanswered security questions. And honestly, those 5 minutes or even those 40 minutes, which have been cut out of the YouTube movie, well, they're probably the most interesting part of the entire story.
The content of this podcast is intended for entertainment purposes only and is meant to humorously explore various tech-related situations. Any resemblance to actual events or real persons, living or dead, is purely coincidental. We ridicule situations, never individuals or groups. Listener discretion is advised, and we encourage everyone to approach technology with a sense of humor and an open mind.